Significant rebuilding followed the war, including massive housing estates and the Seaforth Dock, the largest dock project in Britain. However, the city has been suffering since the 1950s with the loss of numerous employers. By 1985, the population had fallen drastically. Declines in manufacturing and dock activity struck the city particularly hard. In 1955, the Labour Party, led locally by Jack and Bessie Braddock, came to power in the city council for the first time. In the 1960s, Liverpool became a centre of youth culture. The city produced the distinctive Merseybeat sound and, most famously, the Beatles. From the 1970s onwards, Liverpool's docks and traditional manufacturing industries went into further sharp decline. The advent of containerisation meant that Liverpool's docks ceased to be a major local employer. In 1974, Liverpool became a metropolitan district within the newly created Metropolitan County of Merseyside. I asked Bishop Ian, an influential figure within Merseyside, what made Liverpool so unique.
I think it's the varied fortunes from the days when it was a big port to the sorts of problems I've talked about, the sectarian strife and the militant councils. Scousers make it unique. The Beatles, it's got an identification worldwide as the place that the Beatles came from. The Liverpool Football Club is a brand that gives it is recognisable around the world. I think Liverpoolians are special, and I've mentioned the sense of humour. They're optimistic. They just get on and do the job. So it's the people, and geographically, it's close to Lake District. It's close to North Wales. It's a good stepping off stone if you want to see England.
The 1980s saw Liverpool's fortunes sink to their lowest point. In the early 1980s, unemployment rates in Liverpool were among the highest in the UK. An average of 12,000 people each year were leaving the city, and 15% of its land was vacant or derelict. In 1981, the infamous Toxteth riots took place, during which, for the first time in the UK, outside Northern Ireland, tear gas was used by police against civilians. I asked Stephen Bree, a researcher into Liverpool's economic history, what was the reason behind Liverpool's economic decline in the 80s?
In one word, two words, Margaret Thatcher. The Tory government virtually destroyed the unions, closed down all the manufacturing industries, made a point about surviving on unemployment. If you look back at that time, we had 3.5 million unemployed in this country, an awful lot of those in Liverpool. The Tory government, took the view that the more people out of work, the more the industry could pay next to nothing for people because there was 10 people for every job. So I would say Margaret Thatcher.
In the 1990s, Liverpool's economy began to grow. It grew faster than the national average, and its crime levels have remained lower than most other metropolitan areas in England and Wales, with recorded crime per head in Merseyside comparable to the national average, unusually low for an urban area. In recent years, the city has emphasised its cultural attractions. Tourism has become a significant factor in Liverpool's economy, capitalising on the popularity of the Beatles and other groups of the Merseybeat era. In June 2003, Liverpool won the right to be named European Capital of Culture for 2008, beating other British cities such as Newcastle and Birmingham to the coveted title. The riverfront of the city was also designated as a World Heritage Site in 2004. Tourism in the city has hit a record high since the Capital of Culture year 2008. Attractions such as the Superland Bananas, La Princesse, and many more make 2008 a year to remember. But what I want to know is, what does the future have in store for Liverpool? I spoke to Abdul Salam, who told me what he thought the future had in store for Liverpool.
I can speak for the last 11 years only. I came to Liverpool in 1997, and since I can see a huge difference. The city's upside down right now in terms of what's happening in terms of the museums, the cultures, the capital cultures, and everything. And I think I can see that through the transportation and the buses. They're all on time basically this time, and I think it's all to do with the changing after 2008. So far, I don't think the city will go backwards. The city is going forward, and I hope I see that a very very positive move for the city of Liverpool and people of Liverpool as well.
With Liverpool always expanding, increasing in size and population, no one knows for sure what the future holds. Perhaps in the coming years it may become a metropolis such as London or Edinburgh. Perhaps history will repeat itself and send the city into a deep depression. One thing is for certain, however, Liverpool is, has been, and always will be a colourful, cultural, beautiful, and ever changing city.
I'm in love with this city, and it was the best decisions I ever made in my life to come to Liverpool.
This seems like a new energy is going back into the city center.
Oh, I think it's got a terrific future, a successful future,
And the city's probably in a better state than it's ever been.
and there's a real sense of optimism and buoyancy in the community.
I think it's probably one of the best cities to live in, certainly in this country.
Is this gonna work so we can do this?